chips. I'm getting rich. Running up digits, counted up 6 stacks. My money flipping, let's take a trip. Splash. Standing on business, tycoon rich. I'm rich. Look at my chips. I'm getting rich. Running up digits, counted up 6. My money flipping, let's take a trip. Splash. Standing on business, tycoon rich. Look at my chips. I'm getting rich. Running up digits, counted up 6.
All right. Great morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We are going to get straight into it. We're going to talk about what we trade every Tuesday at 8:45 a.m. And then we're going to talk about how we traded and go over some of the trades that we've done in the past so we can continue to capitalize off of what the market is giving to us. So great morning to everybody that is logged in, and let's get this thing rocking and rolling, okay? So the first thing that I want to start off with is talking about the NASDAQ, okay? So with NASDAQ, we have, let's see here. NASDAQ is an index that caters to investors interested in innovative growth-oriented companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and others, offering a diverse selection of industry leaders, driving economic progress and technological advancement. And so some of the companies that are comprised within the NASDAQ index, as I mentioned already, some that you already know, we had the Apple, right? We had the Microsoft. But then we have Adobe, we have Monster, we have Comcast, Intel, Cintas, okay, Ross. These are very well-known companies that are comprised within the index, and we trade the performance of these of this index, okay? And so how do we actually trade that? So we use a concept that's very simple. The first thing we want to look at is pretty much the market condition, okay? What is the market condition of before we even look at the strategy? So are we in a range, or are we in a trending market, or are we consolidated? Okay. So typically we like to look at both the ranging and trending markets to look for possible setups when it comes to trading the NASDAQ futures. Okay. So with the ranging market, okay, let's go to the ranging market here. And let's talk about what a range is, and then we'll talk about and we'll see if the market is actually ranging. Okay, so with a ranging market, we're looking for price action to kind of just stay within a certain area. All right, so just kind of going back and forth, back and forth. So those are the candles. This is the illustration of the candles. Okay, and so we'll have, this is our low here, this is our support level here, and this will be our resistance level here. And so the market is just ranging within a certain area. So when we're in a range, we're looking for significant buys and sells at the top and the bottom of the range. And I'll get into more detail in a minute. But let's go look at the market and see if it's ranging, right? And then we have the trending market, and I'll talk about the trending market as well. Okay, so with the ranging market, let's go look at the market real quick. And I'm on a 15-minute chart, by the way. For those of you all that aren't familiar, I'm on a 15-minute chart. Okay. And if we look at what's happening here, the overall trajectory of what the market is doing, it had a nice level of support here at this level here. And then we came up, pulled back, created a higher high, pulled back, created a higher high. So we pulled back to this area here. Okay. And so we're possibly going to retest some of these levels up here. Possibly. We'll see. Okay. So right now we're in a little uptrend. Okay. We're in an uptrend because we know if it was ranging, it will be moving side to side. Okay. But it's moving up to the upside. All right. So let's go look at the trending market rules, and let's see what those rules are. Okay. So now that we've identified our market condition, that we're in a trending market, and great morning to everybody that has joined. Great morning. Okay. We're in a trending market. We know that step 1 tells us to use the 15-minute chart. So that's the chart that we were just on. Via TradingView, that's the platform that I use, okay, to identify uptrends or downtrends, okay, for directional bias. And so because we're in the uptrend, our directional bias for today will be looking for buys, okay? So when the market is in an uptrend, look for buys. Okay, this says buys only, but we're going to be objective to that, okay? Because sometimes price, especially recently, price can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. So we can't get locked in on a specific directional bias, but we can have, based on the analysis and the information presented to us in the recent past, we can make an educational assumption of what the market is trying to do. Okay, so now that we have our directional bias, step 2 says once you have determined directional bias, wait for BPC, and I'll get into that in a minute, confirmation at a key level, okay, or rejection at a key level. Okay, so that's breakout, that's the B, pullback, that's the P, continuation, that's the C, BPC. Okay, and then we get our entry on the 1-minute chart. All right, so let's go look at this and let's see what levels we're looking at for a possible BPC. Okay, let's go see what levels we're looking at for a possible BPC. So if we're looking at this here, okay, we have, let's see here, we have an 18,048 level. And if you are online right now and you want to participate, go to tradingview.com, get you a free account, get to your demo account, and take some trades. That's the only way you'll learn, okay, is by actually taking the trades. If you're watching, you're just spectating. Okay, there's one thing about positive motion, but then there's another thing about actual actionable steps. So if you want to learn and get better at this, you have to take the trades with us. Okay, all right. So now let's look at this. So we have our 18,178 level, which is here, and then we have our 18,048 level, which is here. Okay, so what I'm looking for, and I really like this buy here, but we know that I don't take any trades before 9:30. But I really like this buy entry, right? Because it's coming off of steps. So when you're trading a trend, steps step entries are really good entries. Okay. Past resistance is future support, and past support is future resistance. Okay. So what do I mean by that? So if we look here, let me get my pen, we can see that price came here, it pulled back. This was the first level of resistance. Okay, it broke through and pulled right back to this level. Past resistance is future support. Okay, so this is support right here now. Price moves up to the upside, creates here's another level of resistance. Okay, here was our past resistance here, right? Is now future support. Future support. So now it's using this past resistance level here as support. So that's why that's a good entry right there. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. So if we break out here, we know that we can probably use this level because it was past resistance as future support if price continues to go to the upside. All right. So that's a trend. Okay. So our directional bias today, we are looking for buys. And we'll pretty much see what the market presents to us. But again, we're looking for BPCs either at this 18,004 or 52 level, right? We're looking for a BPC confirmation here, and we're looking for a BPC confirmation here, confirmation or rejection, either one. Okay, so what am I looking at for BPC? I'm looking for a breakout, looking for the candle to break out, pull back to this area, use it as resistance, and then continue to the downside if we're looking for a bearish BPC. If we're looking at a bullish BPC, then I'm looking for price to break out here, pull back, and then continue. So now it's using this level as support. The bearish use it as resistance, and a bullish BPC use it as support. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. So now let's see here. Let's go through, and great morning to everybody that's joined. Great morning. Okay. So now we're going to go to the trade from yesterday, and we're going to break this down. Okay. It took a little bit of patience on this one yesterday because the market was kind of doing some fluctuation yesterday before it decided it wanted to move. And because the market is so indecisive right now, everybody, it's patience is even more important. I can't express that enough. Like, we have to really, really hone in on, number one, those pivotal key levels, making decisions at those pivotal key levels, and then honing in on when to enter and being patient with that. Okay. So let's see. Yesterday was um was Monday, so we were around right here. See, it was 9:45. This was 9:30. Okay. So let's go back to our 9:30 candle, and we'll go to the lower time frame. All right. So this is where price was yesterday. Okay. So when price came to this level right here, what we were experiencing is either a BPC, we were waiting for a BPC here or a BPC here. Now, this is where patience came in. Okay. So if we look at this, I'm going to go to the 1 minute. And if you have questions, guys, please ask. Okay. Please ask. All right. So great morning to everybody that's joined, both on IG and YouTube. Okay. All right. So let's go back. So let's see. Let's look at this. Okay, so we'll see here that at this level on the 1 minute, what time was this? 9:44. Okay, so we still didn't really get anything until after that. So let's just go ahead and play out these couple of candles here. All right, and so at this point, we found some support here, right? So we had a nice wick on this level, followed by a strong engulfing bullish candle. But we never got the signal off the 5 minute, so that's why I did not get into this trade. Okay, that's why I didn't get into this trade. Wasn't enough volume to take us to the next level. So then we play it out here. And we can see we got rejected before price could even continue to push to the upside. Okay, so here we are. We moved here. Okay, price came back to this level and tried to retest this level right here. Okay, it tried to retest it, but again, with the BPC, we want the body of the candle to close beneath this level, not not the not the wick. Okay, so that's the wick right there, that long stick right there, that's the wick. We want the body of the candle to close beneath the key level. Okay, so when we look at this here, we can clearly see that the body did not close above that beneath that key level. So we go to the next candle here. Now this candle broke through here, but it did not close with that break. So because we have a new wick at this area, I placed my line here because this wasn't a full break yet, right? So now when I place that line here, okay, that's telling me that I need the body of the candle to close beneath this little line right here before I even consider to get in. So I can know that there's enough sellers in there that could possibly push the price down. Okay. So let's go to the next candles. There's the break right here. Here's the break. Once I saw that break, I knew it was time to get in. Right? Because what do we see here? And this was actually up a little bit, but we see a breakout. Here's our breakout, right? And now let's look at the next candles. Let's look at the next candles. Okay, so you can still see prices dropping here, right? So price found, let's see here. It found support twice here. Let me put this back here. It found support twice here and it broke out. So we had our push down. It was a fake little breakout, pull back, and then our continuation was validated. Our continuation was validated right here when this candle broke out. So we entered there and then we took it down to our target. Okay, so I believe this was TP1 hit and TP2 hit. Okay, so that's how we broke down that trade yesterday. Pretty straightforward. We just waited for our confirmations and we entered the trade and we made the call to get in. Okay, any questions about that particular setup yesterday? Okay, so Michael said no pullback. So in this case, Michael, let's go look at it. Let me go back here. Okay, I actually had my key level up a little bit. It was right here. Okay, so that was my key level yesterday. I moved it down a little bit today because of the support. But let's look at this real quick, Michael. So the price broke out here. Okay, because this is where my key level was. This is where my key level was. So the price broke out there. It did pull back, but it pulled back into the zone. So whenever the price pulls back into our ranging area, we need price to break past. I'm sorry, it's actually right here. For price to break past our areas here. Okay, where it found a wick. And in this case, it found a wick here first, right? But it never closed on this candle, never closed on that candle. This was the candle that closed on everything, that showed us that there was momentum. So the breakout was here, the pullback was here, but that pullback was strong. So we didn't know if that was going to be a buy or a sell, right? But we never got that confirmation on the 5 minute to get in, so we didn't get in, right? And here's our continuation. It broke past this wick right here because that's where it found support, and it closed beneath that wick. So that requires some patience because these couple of candles here, let's go back. With these couple of candles right here, we got some nice momentum, but we still need price to break past this wick right here, right? So we continue. That candle didn't break past the wick. That candle didn't break past the wick because the body's closed still above this wick right here, right? But that next candle, that was the candle. Oh, I'm sorry, the candle after that, because this one, the body still is above the wick right here, right? But this candle right here is the one that closed beneath this wick and beneath this wick as well. So that told me that there was confirmation that we could enter the trade for a possible sale. And yesterday, I apologize for the confusion on that, but even in those scenarios, you all should know what you're looking at regardless, right? So trust yourself in these instances, even if there are instances like yesterday, right? Because you guys have seen this over and over and over again, and you know what to look for. Trust yourself in that perspective, okay? But that's what we're looking at in regards to that trade from yesterday. Okay, that was our breakthrough right there, that confirmed that we could continue to push to the downside. So today we're going to wait and we're going to see what happens. Let me see what the candles look like from today. Yeah, actually I do. Okay, so what are we witnessing? Price might try to create a higher high here, guys. This is a very pivotal level of resistance. I'm gonna move this back down because that's why I had it there. This is a very pivotal level of resistance. So we're going to see how price responds at this 18,171.75 level. Okay, 18,171.75 level. So while we're waiting for the market to open, I want to talk about what's going on in the market and how to adjust and how to pivot with what's happening in the market. All right. Okay, you got it. I got you, Michael. Awesome, awesome. And happy new day, Mary. Happy new day. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Right now, and I was actually listening in to one of my mentors yesterday. He's been trading for over 20 years now, so he's literally pretty much seen everything. And he was up significantly this earlier this year, and then with all of this different indecisiveness that's going on in the market, he's pretty much at a break even right now, maybe a little bit in profit. But it just goes to show that because of the uncertainty that's happening right now, we have to understand that there's not going to be the typical patterns that we're used to seeing, right? So typically what happens in the market, you might get a cool down period, right? Consolidated or ranging, right? And then you might break out into a downtrend. Then you might get another low here. Is the market is all over the place. Okay, so we'll see instances where we'll have consolidated markets go into a range, then go into a small trend, and then go back into consolidation. So it's just a lot of different patterns that are happening that aren't consistent. And they're not consistent because people's sentiment towards the market aren't consistent, right? You have some people that are pro whatever the news is, and then you have some people that are against it. And because of that, there's not a lot of money, moving in certain directions of the indecisiveness, right? So you'll see like the stock market volatility offers two important lessons for investors. So we're saying in a nutshell is that the stock market highs and lows are a call to action for professionals. And so when we look at the market, we see those instances, especially last week when let me go back to the chart here. Last week when we were in the market, if I could find an example, they would come out of our zone back into, so for instance, right here, okay? I don't even know what day this is, but I'm just going to use this as an example. Come out of our zone areas, we don't get full continuation, and then price pushes up here, right? And so no clean just pattern that move out of this consolidated area, right? So with that, we have to be extremely patient on our entries because of these type of they're more fake outs now. Okay, they're definitely more fake outs now. So actually let's look into this example here. And what was this? Wednesday. Let me see if I can find a time of day here. It was 9:15. Okay, so let's use this example right here. Let's go back here. Okay, so this was Wednesday of last week. Now, here we have two zone areas. Okay, price was here, price was here. So we were looking for a BPC on either direction. Okay, but price did not come back and retest this level down here. It shot up from here. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's see, it's the 15-minute chart. This is 9:30. Let me go to my 1 minute. Okay, so we can see, let's see, 9:26, 9:28. Here's 9:30. Price broke out of this area here, found support here, which wasn't even a strong level of support, to be honest. It was decent, but it wasn't like crazy, right? Because it was some past resistance here. But it found some support, went to the upside, and then price came right back down. Okay, it came right back down. So the longevity, or the amount of price action or price movement that we're getting here is not that significant. Because even if we were to get into this buy, I'm just giving an example, that's not a strong move. That's not a strong move. Okay, so we have to take what the market is giving us and not what we're trying to get out of the market. Okay, I'll say that again. Take what the market is giving you and not what you're trying to get out of the market. That's extremely, extremely important. Okay, so yesterday the market gave us a nice, decent move. We'll take it. We'll take it. But in regards to, if it's there or not, we have to watch and see what's going on. Okay? And see what's going on. All right, so now let's go ahead and segue over to I want to talk about just being weathering the storm with this process. Okay? I want to talk about weathering the storm with this process. So the reason why it's important to stay steady, because the market will eventually balance itself out. All right, it will eventually balance itself out, and when it does that, you have to stick to what you know and stick to your rules. So, for example, let me see if this whiteboard will come up for me. If not, then I'll just go ahead and navigate to the charts and just do it there. Okay, so it's taking a little minute to come up. There we go. All right, awesome. Okay, so for example, yeah, last week we were at about 50%. Okay, we had 2 winning days and we had 2 losing days. All right, and so what you'll see for as far as your results, it'll be up one day, down one day, up one day, down one day, right? So you'll see some back and forth that's going on. Okay, you'll see some back and forth that's going on. But what's happening is a couple of things. Let me use this pen here. So you'll see back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? But what's going to eventually happen once the market decides what it wants to do, just as just as much as you see a breakout on the charts, you'll see a breakout in your results as well. Because when the market starts to get healthy and we start to see trends back into a nice solid range, back into another trend here, you'll start to see your results um be a little bit more consistent, because the patterns of the market is consistent. All right. So with this, let's just say, for instance, the market starts to pick back up. We use the same breakdown. Now you're closing a week 3 out of 4, or even 4 out of 4, right? And so let's say you made, for those that have the $50,000 account, let's say you made um $300 for each trade. Okay, and so you're up about $900. Okay, subtract. Let's just say subtract 600, because you did have that one losing day. So you close the week with $600 profit. Okay, $600 profit. And so with this consistency here, this will put you in position to actually have that type of outcome. All right. So weathering the storm is not letting your emotions get the best of you when you have your lows and when you have your highs. You have to be even kill for all of these type of situations, because eventually, and this always happens, the market has to rebalance itself. And if you're in position, and if you're sticking to your plan and everything like that, then you'll start to see the fruits of those labors. Okay, so don't worry about, if you took a loss or whatever the case is. That's a part of the process. You just have to adjust, and the adjustment is being more patient. The adjustment is being more diligent and being more disciplined when it comes to sticking to those rules. Okay. So the bigger picture here, and I go over this because I want everybody to understand what our goals are to accomplish here, is to leverage O basically OPM. Okay. OPM money. Okay. So we want to leverage the prop firm's funds so that we can make a substantial amount of money. Okay. So this is a prop firm called Top Step. that says to traders, if you're able to prove that you're a skillful trader, you can manage your trades, you can be profitable, we're going to split some of those earnings with you. Okay. So one of the things that um, most traders struggle with is the psychology of trading, but also the resources to make enough money to live off of, right? Because if I had $500, right, and I wanted to trade on my own money, well, and let's say I made 15% that month, I made $75, okay? Versus I put up $50 and I make that same amount, okay? This is where now you're in position, because now you put up $50 to trade off of a $50,000 account, okay? And so now you're in position to make $7,500 in that month, okay? So you put up less to earn more. Now, there might be some resets in there and everything like that, like if you lose or if you breach any rules or anything. But at the end of the day, it's not $50,000. You're not risking $50,000 of your own money. Most people don't have this. Okay, so this is the opportunity to get you in position so that you can build that amount of money so that it's accessible for you to capitalize off. Now, this isn't, we want to use this as a resource to build our own capital so eventually we can trade our own money. But for right now, we're using this as a platform to do so. Okay. So that's the basis of the top step. So there's different levels to it. You have your $50,000 account, and then you have your $100,000 account, then you have your $150,000 account. With the $50,000 account, what we're looking at is a couple of things. So what Top Step says is, if you can grow this $50,000 account, and shout out to Robert and Mary that passed, okay, and shout out to Kelly, Michael, and Sylvester that's on their way, right? These guys show up every single day, and just learning and growing, and I'm super proud of each and every one of them, okay. But let's look at this. So this $50,000 account, okay, and you put up $49. Okay, let's just say 50 to round it up. $50. Okay. And what Top Step says is, if you can grow this $50,000 account to $53,000, we're going to give you access to an express funded account. What does that mean? With the express funded account, what they're telling you is that you can keep 50% of your profits, okay, until you have 30 winning days. Once you have 30 winning days, you can keep up to 100% of that, within that 10,000 frame, that money frame. Okay. So with 50%, let's say you earn $10,000 on that account and you haven't gotten your 30 trading days. Well, you just turned that $50 into 5K. You turned that into $5,000. $50 to $5,000. Okay, that is 1,000x, guys. That's 1,000x return. That's incredible. Okay, that's incredible. So what we're essentially doing here is using this to scale. All right. So let's say you get your $50,000 account, and now you're in a position to I'm sorry, that's 100x. I said 1,000x. That's 100x, guys. Okay, but what we're doing is leveraging that. So okay, now you pass your 50,000, you locked in, right? So now let's say you want to go up to the $150,000 account. Okay, so you're taking the same trades. You're taking the same trades. You get your $150,000 account, right? $150,000 account. And so now you make that same 15%, you're at $22,000 for the month. Let's say you have your 30 winning days. Even if you don't have your 30 winning days, you're still at 11K. So you just turned $150 into $22,000. Great risk to reward. Great risk to reward. Now, in order to accomplish that, you pretty much um, have to put yourself in position to earn $9,000 on this account. Now, from my experience, I've realized that the 50,000 is a lot more attainable because you can do a lot with 5 contracts. And the goal to hit 3,000, that's not hard to do with 5 contracts. With 150,000, it's a little bit more challenging, but it's definitely still feasible. Okay, so with the $150,000 dollar account, you have to grow it to 159,000. They give you 15 contracts, and you can't lose more than $4,500. Okay, so if you lose that, then you're pretty much you've breached the account. All right. So once you have that, now you're in position to scale up to, which is the ultimate goal, $750,000. Okay, so that's just this 150 account multiple times. Okay, that'll be doing the copy trading. All right, and so when you multiply that 750 times that same 15%, you're at about $112,000 and $112,500 to be precise. Okay, at this point, you can start to diversify into automation, right? You can diversify into LPs. Okay, so now you have multiple streams of income moving for you, right? And you still have this account to make another 112 or whatever the case is next month to diversify even more, to add to what you have. So the goals are clear. The goals are very clear. And great morning to everybody that has joined. The goals are clear. We're just looking for we're just executing so we can hit those goals. Okay? But they're very clear, whether that's retirement, whether that's saving for something, whether that's multiple things. You want to get something for your children, whatever, leave a legacy. All of those things are attainable here, guys. But we have to continue to show up, and we have to continue to stick to your rules, because here's the thing. The psychology piece, it doesn't really show that much when you're winning, right? Because you feel good. Um, you don't have to look at certain things in a different way, right? It might show up with the greed part, but for the most part, the psychology piece doesn't show up that much when you're winning. But when you're losing, that's when you have to get control of your emotions so you don't blow your entire account. I talk about this all the time, right? You want to be trader A versus trader B. So when you experience those losses, which will happen, okay? You don't blow your entire account. Trader B is emotional. They go on a winning streak, winning, 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 winning. They take a hit. They go right back to square one, if not worse. They go back on a winning streak, winning, 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 and now they take another hit. Now they're really in a deficit, right? So they're less than where they even started. So now at this point, the fatigue starts to come in, and the anxiousness and all of that stuff starts to come in, because you've been hit with these large losses right here, right? And so you might end up profitable for the month, but nowhere near where you could have ended up, right? So that's trader B. With trader A, they experience the same losses, but the amount that they lose is different. Okay, so trader A goes on a winning streak, takes a loss, small little dip. Goes on a winning streak, takes a loss, small little dip here, right? And so you'll see the progression consistently happen over and over and over and over again. Okay, so, and if you feel and I'm just coming up with this right now, but like with trader, let's just say trader C, okay, this person win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. This part here, where you feel like you just kind of stuck, that means there's either an area for you to improve your skill, okay? Or there's an area for you to be more consistent. You can't be one way one day, risk a certain amount one day, and then risk a certain amount the next day. You can't stick to one rule this day and then stick to another rule the next day. If you don't put in consistent work or consistent efforts, you won't get consistent results. That's just the bottom line. Okay, you can't say something works or if it don't works if you haven't done it long enough, or you can't say you're good at something if you haven't done it long enough, right? So this trader C, this happens over time. Okay, this is a development over time. Consistency and skill are kind of one and the same in this instance, but this develops over time. As long as you show up and you continue to stick to your rules and you improve those small little things that make a big difference, this will get better. Okay, so you have to be patient with this scenario. All right, so we're at it's 9:25 now. Let's go take a look at the market and let's see if anything has changed for us. All right, so here we are. We're at a point of resistance here that we are experiencing. Of course, we see some resistance here, but my level is right here with this wick. I have to respect this wick right here because there was some rejection here. When we get to this level, we are going to see that there's a BPC. See if there's a BPC, but there's a tight area here that we have to be conscious of. Okay, because if we look right here to the left, there was rejection here. So if we get a BPC, we have to be conscious of that because that's where price rejected in the past. Okay, now if we break past this area, we might get a little bit more breathing room. Okay, we got a couple of more levels that we can look at. Okay, but for right now, based on where price is, it's a little tight, and we just got to play it the way it is. If price continues to go, then cool, and if it doesn't, that's fine too. But I'm going to be putting in two positions. Okay, my first position will take profit, will be my TP1, and then my second position will basically trail the move, okay, in case if it continues to move up or down, just depending on whatever the market wants to do. Okay, we are oversold here, so there is a chance that we could continue to push to the upside. Let's go take a look at the volume for today, the volume order flow. And let's see how many buys and sells we have in the market right now. Currently, where we are, there are more buys than sells. When we get to this key level here, it's almost even. So anything can happen here. Okay, let's go to the higher time frame and go to the 1 hour. And we can see what's going on here. So we have 452,000 buys here versus 337,000. But when we get to this area here, there's actually more sales than buys, 404 versus 339. And then there's more sales here. So we might get some rejection pretty soon, either at this level, or this level. Definitely at this level though, if we do get one. Okay? So just some things to kind of keep in mind. See if the buyers can break through these next levels here. If not, we are prepared for price to correct itself and reject it at these resistance levels. Okay, so we have about, let's see, let's go to the 5 minute and look at it. We have a minute and 27, guys, a minute and 27 until the market opens. And let's see what happens for today. Okay, again, we're looking for a BPC. Take it probably to this level here. If we stay in, we'll see if we get another BPC. Right now on the 5 minute, the bulls are in control. Okay, the bulls are in control, but that can change. That can change. Okay, less than a minute, guys. Less than a minute. And great morning to everybody that's joined. Right. Okay, Sylvester, I see you. Teacher. Thank you. All right, so we're going to let's see what it gets. What do y'all think today? What are y'all assumptions for today? Buys or sells? What y'all think we gonna get in today? Buys or sells? What y'all? Let me know what y'all think. Okay, buys or sells? Let me know. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's see what we get. I'm going here. Let's see. Buys or sells? And if you're on IG, guys, it might be a little laggy. If you're in the group, of course, I'm going to try to drop those numbers in for you guys as quickly as possible. But thank you guys for tuning in, and let's see what happens. The market is officially open. Let's get it. All right. So again, we're not making any decisions until we get here or here. Anything in between is risky. And I'm actually going to extend this level here because I got to respect this right here. I'm sorry. We got to respect that. We have to respect that. There was some huge support there. The sellers are coming in strong. Wow. Let's see. We getting a sell right out the gate, y'all. So if this sell comes through, okay, and it closes out strong, I will look to take it. Okay, so but I'm gonna wait until the candle closes, and depending on the distance as well, because if we can close around here, I can take it down to here, right? But if we close too far down, then that's something different. Let me grab my stop loss and take profit zones here. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we have 3 minutes and 35 seconds left on this candle. If this is a sell, let's see. This would be one level of resistance there. And then this would be the other level of resistance. So I will have to place that one up there to be on the safe side. So that's where I will place my stop loss if it is a sell. Okay. So let me just change that to potential sell stop loss instead of potential buy stop loss. Okay. All right, guys, let's see what happens. Remember, we got to wait until the candle closes if it is a sell. We got to wait until it closes. We've already witnessed that there is a lot of selling pressure here. The sellers are coming in. They're starting to slide into the market here. Okay. But we'll see. Okay, the buyers are trying to fight back here. This is why you wait till the candle close. Don't get faked out. Okay. We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on this candle right here. And if you guys have questions, like I said, feel free to ask. Okay. But right now, we just seeing what will get presented to us. So now, if I was to get into a sell here, let me see, based on where my stop loss is, let's see how many contracts, because I don't want to put more than 1,000 on my move here. Okay, so let's see. We had 18,176.25. 18,176.25. Okay. All right. So that's not bad based on where I am right now. But let's see how it closes though. Because if it does not close solid, I'm not taking it. Because this thing can go one way or the other. Okay, we got a minute and 20 left on this candle right here, y'all. I like this sell because we are at the top here of this move, and we can clearly see to the left that there was rejection here. Okay, and we can also see that there are more sellers coming into the market. Okay, along with our sell. So let's see what happens. Again, I'm waiting until the candle closes though. Waiting until it closes. 50 seconds. Let's see what we get. Okay, still got 40 sec here. And this is a nice little distance between here and here as well if we do get to sell. All right. I already see where TP1 is going to be if we do get it. It's going to be a quick one, but it'll be a good one. Okay, so I need to reduce my contracts a little bit down to 10 based on where we are. All right, guys. I'm in a sale. I'm in a sale, guys. I'm in a sale. All right. So, where's my TP? Let me get him to my second position. 1 second. Let's see. I'll do 3 contracts. Okay, sell. All right, awesome. I got both of my positions here. Okay, so with what I'm looking at for TP1 is going to be right. Hold on, let me get it. Let me grab it. Hold on. TP1 is going to be right here. Okay, so we're looking at 18,083.225 for TP1. Okay, and let me bring this down here. Okay, and then TP2, let's see here. TP2 is going to be, let's see, at the bottom here, the bottom of this right here. Okay, so we're looking at about, I don't know, because I'm gonna leave it open, right? Because it could break, just depending on how strong it is, it could break past here if it decides to do that. So I'm gonna leave this open and I'll let you guys know what TP2 is. But TP1 is 18,083.25. Okay, so our stop loss is, let's see. Let me go back here. Let's go take a look here. Stop loss is 18,176.25. 0.25. Okay, that's the stop loss. The take profit, okay, TP1 is 18,083. 18,083.25 to be exact. Okay, and then my TP2 is to be announced. Okay, TP2 is to be announced. All right, so those are my levels right there. And let's see how this thing plays out for us, guys. All right, let me see here. So I'm going to post that here on the screen too, so you guys can see it briefly. I won't leave it up here for too long, but I'll post it here as well. Okay, so those are the levels right there. Okay, so we have 18,176.25 for the stop loss, and then we have 18,083.25 for the TP1, and then TP2 is to be announced. Okay, and I'm on a 5-minute right now. That's the chart that I'm looking at right now. All right, so let's see how this thing plays out. So if we're looking at this right now, we have more sellers here, which is why we're seeing a wick right here. But we do have more buyers right here, which is why we probably saw that push up here. So let's go see what it looks like on a higher time frame. Let's look at it from the 15-minute. See what we got on the 15-minute here. Okay, so the 15-minute, we definitely have more dominant sellers here. Okay, at this level right here, we have more dominant sellers. When it gets down to this area here, though, it's kind of neck and neck. So the sellers have to push through to break this area here. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. But from what I'm looking at right now, even if it breaks past here, once it breaks past this, once we get past TP1, then that's where we see the buyers really come in. right at that 78,000 level here. So TP1 is decent, but TP2 I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure about if we break past here. We are getting a possible sell signal on the 15-minute, but it still has 5 more minutes left on that candle, of course. So we'll see how it plays out here. So let's go back to the 5-minute and let's see how these candles close out for us. We got 10 seconds left on this candle right here. That's a strong candle right there. And this is the volatility that's going on in the market, right? You have a strong candle down, then you have a strong candle up. Just a lot of volatility that's happening right now in the market. Because, and believe it or not, this is actually a lot of money. These candles is just the simple fact that um what you're seeing here is that there might be a lot of money going to sales, and then there's a lot of money going to buys. And at the end of the day, whoever has the most money is who moves the market. Okay. So that's what we're looking at here. Okay. That's what we're looking at here. All right. So we got 4 minutes left on this new candle here. And let's see if the sellers can hold the price. This is our last level of kind of rejection here. And then our stop loss is up here. So we got good spacing for the stop loss. We'll see if it can hold within the next 5 minutes, see if we can get another rejection to the downside within the next 5 minutes, and then go from there. So I'll go ahead and take my levels off here, and let's see what we get. Okay, so 3 minutes and 58 seconds. We did get a buy signal on the 5 minutes, so that's going to be interesting there. Okay, so we got stopped out here. All right, so I think I still have a little bit of cushion left. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I still got a little bit of cushion left for my position here. So let's see if we can get a BPC out of this zone right here, because it just broke through. All right, just broke through. So let's see. Let's look at what's happening on the 1 minute. Okay. We have, okay, so here's our breakout right here. Here's our breakout. Now let's see if we get a pullback and continuation. Okay. So the buyers came in, they took out our sell position. Let's see if we can get in for our buy position, guys. Let's see if we can get in for our buy position. Okay. Here is okay, so we just broke through here. There's our breakthrough. Okay. Let's see if this is our pullback right here. Now, if we do get into this buyer, a pullback right here. So let's see, that's our first level. This would be our second level. This will be our stop loss right here. Okay, that would be our stop loss right there. About right there. Okay. So actually, I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. About right there. Okay. So there's our stop loss. All right. So here's our pullback. As long as this candle stays above this level, that's a valid pullback there. Okay. Valid pullback. And then let's see if we can get some continuation. Let's see if we can get some continuation. Okay. We got 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left, guys, on this candle right here. All right, so that's still considered. This is actually, let me see here, because it came back down here. Even though it didn't close red, it did pull back to this level. So if price closes above here, then I would consider a buy. Okay, but let's see if it's let's see if we can get a candle to break past that. All right, if we do, then I'll get into a buy. Okay, so I'm going to get my buy ready. And I can actually adjust my stop loss now to here. Okay, 18,164. 18,164 for the stop loss. If we break past, okay, 18,164. 18,164. Okay, and then a take profit. All right, so let's see. Okay, we're getting a break here. 2, 1. Okay, guys, I'm in a buy. I'm in a buy. All right, I'm in a buy. Stop loss is at 18,164. And then I'm going to put in my third position here. I'm in my second position here. All right. Those are my levels right there. Okay, 18,164. So what we're looking at here for TP1, it is kind of short, but it's at this 18,213 level, guys. This 18,213 level is our take profit one. Okay, 18,213 level is our take profit one. All right, so I'll put that there. Let me go ahead and modify that. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, I did not even put my take profit. Okay, no worries. I just got to close them manually. Okay, so 18,213 is our take profit one. Okay, so TP1 just hit, guys. TP1 just hit. All right. I'm still trailing it here. So now you want to I'm breaking even on my positions here. I'm breaking even on my positions. I'm breaking even on all of my positions here. Okay. Okay, so I'm breaking even here. And let's see if we can get to TP2. TP2 will be that next level, which is 18,253. 18,253, guys. And then we'll go up from here. Okay. We'll see how far we can go up from there. But this is our next target right here. 18,253 is our next target. All right. Everything else should be break even. Everything else should be break even. Okay. Should be break even. So here we go. All right, we're pushing. We're pushing. Let's see if we can get to this level here. The buyers are coming in strong here. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. So we do have more buyers here, but the sellers are trying to creep in. Let's see. Let's go look at the 5-minute. Nice push to the upside here. We might start to get a pullback. I don't see any sellers here on the 5-minute just yet in this area here. So we might have potential to hit this zone right here, guys. Let's see. But all of my positions are at break even. All of my positions are at break even, guys. Okay, here we go. All right, nice push, nice push. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and take your second position out, you can. I'm still in mine. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in some profit here. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in some profit here, guys. I'm locking in my profit. Okay, locking in my profit. And I'm going to go ahead and take this large position out now. And I have my small position still in, guys. All right. It actually took both of them out. Well, that's fine anyway. But so we're good. So we're good. So I would still be in this position if I didn't accidentally click the wrong button. But it's all good. Okay, I would still be in this position. So you guys should be at break even right now. So you can protect your position. But that TP2 just hit. Okay, so TP2 just hit around this 18,253 level. All right. So if you want to stay in, you can, but it looks like the buyers have some good momentum. Now, this next level right here is a very strong resistance level. Okay. So we do have a chance for price to continue to push up here, but it is a strong resistance level here. I'm just a fair warning. This is a strong resistance level. So if you want to take your profit now, you can. Um, there is a chance that price could break here because I don't see any sellers that's really coming in right now. But again, there is a chance that we could break through this here. But this level right here, I'm expecting some pushback here. Okay, I'm expecting some pushback here. So we didn't get the sale that we wanted, which is okay. But the buy recovered. It came out strong, and we recovered from that trade. Okay. So good stuff. So again, you guys should be at break even if you're still in the trade. Okay, you should be at break even if you're still in the trade. I'm out. I wanted to actually stay in, but I didn't get a chance to set my take profits as fast as I wanted to. But it's all good. So again, I would probably still be in, and my break even will be probably like down here, right under this candle right here. Okay. So if you want to stay in, just kind of keep that in mind. But if you want to go ahead and take your profit, go ahead and do so. But just keep in mind at this 18,315 level, this is a strong level of resistance. This is a strong level of resistance. Okay. Strong level. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.